Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. It's so nice to see all of you here on this beautiful June 1st afternoon. I'm Olivia Holaus. I am the new chairman of the Board of Trustees here at the Boca Raton Historical Society and the Schmidt Boca Raton History Museum. So thank you so much for coming. Welcome. I see a lot of familiar faces, so that means you're members. And if you're not members yet, please do consider joining as a member. We have some really great benefits. And you get to attend all these wonderful events. It's complimentary as part of your membership. So please, if you have any questions, come to me after the program. I'm happy to answer any questions for you. And let's get started. Fashion is one of my favorite topics, so I'm very excited for this afternoon. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce you to our fabulous curator here. If you don't know her yet, you need to know Susan Gillis. She knows everything about Boca Raton and really Florida. She is so much fun. She has a way of telling history like a storyteller. So we're just so lucky and fortunate to have her here. So Sue, can you please come up and start the program?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me go okay here? Okay. Okay, I'm going to do a little introductory part, but I want to talk to you a little bit about how this came to be. So this year, as a matter of fact, just a couple weeks ago, is the actual 50th anniversary of the Historical Society. Now, it happens to be one of my favorite years because that's when I graduated from high school. I just had my 50-year reunion. I said would be fun to do a new series, Town Hall Tea Time, and this year we'll let the theme be Where Were You in 72? So a little flashback to the 70s. And for those of you who don't remember it, that's fine, you'll learn a little, but the rest of you will be a trip down memory lane, I hope. So first of all, and in a few minutes, I'm going to introduce our friends at the Foss Fashion School of Design. I want to give you a little trip down memory lane of Boca Raton in the 1970s. Well, first of all, our town really grew quite a bit in those days. As you can see, from 28,000 to 53,000, and that's within city limits. And as you can see, this was the era when Boca started pushing west, west, west. Now today, West Boca has quite a bit larger population than within the city limits. Well, unincorporated Boca Raton does. But this is when it's happening, partly because the interstate was completed, but mostly because of a company named Arvida, which was a big developer founded by Mr. Arthur Vining Davis, that stands for Arvida. And he came here in 1956 and really introduced the gated community that we associate with Boca Raton today. So you can see this wonderful map from the 70s and how far west we were growing even then. 1970. So nationally, it was the first Earth Day. And the horrible incident at Kent State during a Vietnam protest. Meanwhile, in Boca, IBM completes the main complex building, which today is brick, the Boca Raton Innovation Campus, in a brutalist style, that's a real style of architecture, by very famous architect Marcel Breuer and Robert Gatschy. And meanwhile, on the fashion scene, the Boca Mall wasn't open yet, you guys. We did have Royal Palm Plaza, but here we have the Shift Shack, which was located at 493 Northeast 20th Street. And of course, shifts are very popular in the 1960s, so this is a little left over that, and very popular here in Florida because they're nice, straight, comfortable. And remember, a lot of people still didn't have air conditioning in 70. I know that I went to school without that. So nice little sleeveless, simple dresses. 1971, Nixon goes to China and Moscow. Meanwhile, Marymount College, which was established in about 62, becomes the College of Boca Raton, now Lynn University. And the 40th Street Bridge is built, also known as the Spanish Boulevard Bridge, and its real name is the Theodore Pratt Bridge. Theodore Pratt was a very successful novelist who lived here in the 50s and 60s. A lot of his novels were turned into movies, in part because he knew Mr. and Mrs. Shine, who owned the hotel before Mr. Davis. And they owned movie theaters, and they had a real in the movie business. A lot of them were, historical novels, but the one I remember is, it depends on how old you are. There's a Disney movie called The Incredible Mr. Limpet, and Don Knotts, it's part animated, part live action. Don Knotts was the voice of Mr. Limpet. Theodore Pratt wrote that. How funny is that? But anyway, and here we have a sale at the Carriage Trade, which was a very nice clothing store at 261 East Palmetto Park Road. So this ad is really from 1971. I searched the newspapers for this, so it's kind of fun. 72, the plumbers break into Democratic National Headquarters at Watergate. Meanwhile, in Boca, local citizens pass a referendum to establish what they called a growth cap of 40,000 dwelling units. Well, as I said, the town is growing, and not everybody liked that. So the citizens passed this referendum, not 40,000 people, but 40,000 actual dwelling units. Well, long story short, it was struck down by the courts. The city tried to fight it. Eventually, the Supreme Court said, no, we're not even going to listen to this. But Mayor Abrams, our former mayor, was here recently. He said, Sue, we just reached 40,000 dwelling units. Meanwhile, eventually the city had to adopt a land use plan because that was mandated by the state legislature, and did, in effect, place densities on Boca Raton. And of course, that's an issue we're still controversial issue. You know how downtown has grown. We have a lot of new citizens. You've got to think about traffic flow and all sorts of things. So it's not a topic that has gone away. But the fun part of the story is, in '73, the Times publishes an article, and you can see it says, "Rich Boca Raton decides to stop growing." There's a copy of the article in the hallway on the timeline, and at the beginning of the article is a picture of a gentleman selling champagne from an ice cream cart at the Polo Fields. So if you wondered how Boca got her snooty reputation, you can look to the New York Times and thank them for that. Meanwhile, in news that I remember very well, Chrissy Everett wins the first Virginia Slims tournament held at the Boca Resort, Boca Raton Hotel and Club it was then, beating Billie Jean King. But she was an amateur still, and so she couldn't claim the prize. But this really set women's tennis on the road to success. It made it popular. It made it a big money item. It really legitimized women's tennis. That was so exciting. And a very important fact here for '72, the Boca Raton Historical Society is founded. On the right, we have an ad from Morgan's Shoes. And that lady's dressed up pretty nice. I don't go shoe shopping like that, but, and we can see this shop was in Royal Palm Plaza, and that's where most of the nice clothing shops were back in the day, the Pink Plaza. '73, who remembers this? The U.S. experienced an energy crisis due to an OPEC oil embargo, and gas went way up. Funny about that. And national speed limits. Now, I learned to drive at 70 miles an hour on the interstate, and now all of a sudden they're reduced to 55. Well, as Sammy Hagar would say, I can't drive 55. That was kind of horrible, actually. But the U.S. economy is definitely impacted. Boca Raton Christian School was established, and the Boca Del Mar development gets underway. So this is way out west. Here we have Lynn Larson's, and it's, again, in Royal Palm Plaza, and I love the elegant lines of that, not obviously a real person, drawing there. But I still think trousers should have a nice flare leg and go way over your boots, so you have to stand in a really high platform shoe. That's the way. Now, not that I do that, but that's how fashion should be. 74, Nixon resigns. The first condominiums open at Boca West, and you should have bought then. The Boca Raton Mall opens, where Meisner Park is today. This was thrilling, because before that, Royal Palm was very nice. It was built in the 60s, but we really didn't have a shopping center. You did have to go to Pompano to shop. And you can see it wasn't that glamorous, but it had some nice anchor stores, particularly Brits. That was the big department store everybody liked to go to. Meanwhile, our Boca Raton Fire Department establishes its first EMTs, paramedics. Now today we take that for granted, right? But that was a new thing back then. And there was a television show called Emergency. Okay, it was 2 guys for all of Los Angeles. But literally, our firemen went to the chief and said, we can do that. And they are amongst some of the first EMTs, now paramedics, in the state. And of course, I'm told by fire departments today, much more of the calls are for EMT paramedics rather than actual fires. Here we have another example of, this is Brits, so Brits finally opens. And we have some elegant, sort of a peasant gown there. Bodysuit, who remembers those? That's so your top would stay tucked in those hip hikers, okay? Very civilized, I think. And those long trousers, but again, these are up at, with a waistband. 75 U.S. pulls out of Vietnam. Boca Raton gets a historic preservation board and a preservation ordinance, one of the first in the state. The Caldwell Playhouse puts on its first show. We have our first holiday boat parade. And I-95 is completed through Boca Raton. It took forever. And as a matter of fact, it still wasn't finished. Remember that was Funny Gap in North County? Oh my gosh, it took forever to finish 95. But what that meant was people could get here very easily. They could get to West Boca very easily. And it made access much easier for new residents and business investors and so on. Here we have another Brits ad with an elegant lady, but that gentleman is wearing a leisure suit. Do I have to make a comment on that? Okay. They speak for themselves. I wish the kids were in here. 76, it's our bicentennial year, and wonderful things are going on all over the country, including in Boca Raton. The Boca Raton Federal Bank advertises a new 24-hour-a-day service, an ATM, hot stuff. And here's a Christmas ad for youngsters at Brit, and this little peasant look that was very popular for young ladies as well as adult ladies. And so I wanted to throw a few children into the mix here. 1977, the most important thing that happened was Star Wars and the New York City blackout. The Arvida Park of Commerce opened, research and light industry development north of Yamato Road, still going strong. And this is an ad for Haber's in the Boca Mall. A very nice store, and you can see that lady has sort of a gaucho, we call those gaucho pants, okay, I had some, and a very nice suit there. 1978, Camp David peace agreement between Israel and Egypt. The Royal Palm Dinner Theater, Jan McCart, opens in Royal Palm Plaza. This is an ad, again, for Brits with a very elegant caftan, so we're going to see caftan this afternoon as well. 1979, 3 Mile Island partially melts down, and the Iran hostage crisis starts. The city adopts a land use plan, placing density ceilings on properties. Donna Klein Jewish Academy opens. And we have some real cute pictures here. These, again, ads from Brits with the youngsters. Jumpsuits, one-piece jumpsuits were popular for ladies. And some big, look at those lapels. Now that's a suit, right? And a nice big fat tie, the way God intended. Far out. Okay. And then, so the next slide, I'm supposed to model, okay? So here's your first fashion for today. This is Sue, okay? Wearing her 1970 something, I can't even remember. Jean Muir pattern. This is not my pattern. I found a copy of it on eBay or Etsy, right? You can buy anything on the internet, can't you? So Sue did not design this gown, but she did sew it herself. And it was kind of hard. It's a Vogue pattern, and there's a little tag that they gave you when you buy the pattern, the couture patterns that say Vogue couture pattern. Okay, for you ladies who sew, very, very upscale. Now next, I want to introduce our special guest today. Olivia, will you make sure Letty is hearing us? Is she right there? Very good. Okay. And let me switch here. Whoop. I want to introduce our very, very special guest today. Letty Sanchez has always loved fashion. As a young mom, she took the train daily to West Palm Beach to attend the International Fine Arts College in Miami. After school, she moved to Chicago, built a clothing label, the House of Sanchez, selling to Nordstrom, and gaining great experience in the rag trade. But inquiries about teaching fashion led her to return to West Palm Beach in 2000 and launch a program for high school and middle school students. In 2016, that became the Thos Fashion School of Design, which is now located in Boca Raton. It's like 2 blocks away. The school offers in-person classes to teach aspiring designers business skills, including designing, branding, and selling. And Sanchez's students range from 18 to 50. I should be older, but okay. And they learn to sketch, cut, sew, and style whatever they can dream up. It was my pleasure to meet Letty and her students during the pandemic. This was 2020, and we were, we were closed for renovations, but also because of everything was closed. And I saw an article in the newspaper about the Thos School. They were making handmade masks. They were trying to figure out the best design for making masks, because remember, masks were really hard to come by at the beginning of the pandemic. I said, that is so cool. I want some samples for our collection, because we collect contemporary artifacts, and we were definitely documenting this phenomenon. We still are. So I walked the entire 2 blocks up to Letty's place. It was my pleasure to meet her and her students. We posed for a couple of pictures, and they donate. Actually, one of the masks is in the display case at the back. So that was my first introduction to them. I said, this is so cool. There's a fashion design school just up the road. I thought that was so awesome. So with the coming of our anniversary, I said, wouldn't it be fun to do a talk about 70s fashions and take a little look back? So I thought of Letty, reached out to her, and she said, I have an idea. What we're going to do is use some of those 70s designs and inspire some contemporary designs. So without further ado, I don't want to steal Letty's show. I want to introduce Letty Sanchez.
Thank you for that warm introduction. Hello, everyone. On behalf of myself and the students at Thos Fashion School of Design, we would like to thank you all for coming out today for this special fashion show to honor 70s fashion in Boca. Again, I'm Letty Sanchez, and Thos Fashion School is the school that I created for these students to give them an alternative to the traditional college education. And the message with FOSS is to teach these students the core fundamentals of breaking into the fashion industry and getting them to work as quickly as possible. And some of our students have gone on to work for companies like Vera Wang and Michael Kors. So I'm very proud to have them at FOSS and all of their accomplishments. Before we get started, we would like to also thank our partners for this event, the Boca Historical Society, Sue Gillis and Olivia Hollis, along with the Boca Beauty Academy for the hair and makeup artistry you're about to see, John Casablancas and MTM Modeling Agency, and the other models that participated in the show. To prepare for this show, the FOSS fashion students first attended a tour of the Boca Historical Society with Sue, and this provided a wealth of information for the history of the town of Boca for them to start their research. From there, the students visited the reading room and reviewed publications during the 70s in Boca. Here are some of the highlights from their findings. And you can see them up here. The students gained so much inspiration by reviewing the different issues of Fiesta magazine. Each month, the publication featured a Fiesta Girl of the Month. Does anyone here remember that magazine? There's so many of them. The images were of the posh events around town with stylish men and women, and the magazines also focused on the local colleges as well. Each issue also featured ads from names you may have heard of, such as Lily Pulitzer, local salons with glamorous hairstyles, and upscale fashion boutiques. One ad we saw quite a bit was for a local boutique called Jackie Renee, with their eye-catching images and taglines. Although this boutique is no longer present, we did notice frequently in their ads mentioning jewelry designer Kenneth J. Lane. Kenneth J. Lane is an acclaimed jewelry designer and is known for being an innovator of creating fabulous fakes. And that continues to cause real jewels to be left home in the safe. His creations have been worn throughout the years by Jackie Onassis Kennedy, Elizabeth Taylor, Audrey Hepburn, the Duchess of Windsor, and now yours truly. Today you can see the likes of Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Jennifer Lopez, Miley Cyrus, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Katy Perry wearing these pieces. His well-known book is also called Faking It, which we have here on display. I believe it's in the back, and you're all welcome to take a look at it. Today you can shop their pieces directly through their website and at prestigious retailers such as Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, and Bergdorf Goodman. We reached out to Kenneth J. Lane's office, and they were so gracious to partner with us on the fashion show. So very soon you will see these jewelry pieces paired on the FOSS students' designs. On behalf of all of us, we would like to thank Kenneth J. Lane's office for working with us on this special show and bringing a little bit of the 70s sparkle magic for you all to see. My accessories are the gold fan earrings and the satin gold cuff bracelet. Now, who's ready to see some 70s Boca fashion? Give me just a moment. I'm gonna get the music started here because I should have had that going earlier. Excuse me. Okay. Alrighty, let's get started. Inspired by a day in the life of Boca's 70s fashion, our first piece to start off the show was motivated by designer Andre Courage. This bright color blocking dress is perfect for bopping around town. This look was designed by student Nina Torek, and her inspiration in the fashion industry is to create a brand that embodies strength and self-expression through fluid and eclectic designs. Jewelry by Kenneth J. Lane is the white resin and gold hoop earrings and the white and golden enamel ring. This embroidered denim jumpsuit piece has all the fun and flair of being out and about in Boca, and perhaps even strolling around the Pompano Fashion Square to do some shopping. This piece is designed and modeled by student Lucia Viviera, and her inspiration in the fashion industry is to create looks that challenge the practical and the desirable. The jewelry is the white square drop earrings with the 3-row coral rounded bracelet. Thank you. Everyone loves winter in Florida to dress up their fur pieces, even if it's only for a week or two, inspired by freedom and love. This look was designed by student Camila Garcia, and she aspires to create clothes that adhere to the artistic and unique styles that anyone can find themselves wearing. Modeling this look is Nicole from Genetics Modeling Management. Accessories are white resin and gold hoop earrings. Thank you. And next is Ready, Set, Match. These polished white tennis looks. Inspired by resort activities, this outfit on the court or at a local cafe for lunch. The women's tennis look was designed by student Shayna Rubin, and she aspires to design her own pieces and open a boutique. The men's look was designed by student Chris Black, and he aspires to focus on implementing the art of distress to high-end silhouettes. Both looks are modeled by Thaw student alumni Josh and Samantha. The jewelry is the women's tennis look is paired with gold and rhinestone flower earrings with white enamel petals and pearl center. Thank you. And here we have the showstopper. Inspired by Lily Pulitzer, this classic dress embodies the designer from the cut to the pattern. We reached out to Lily Pulitzer office and they sent us a little bit about their brand in the 70s that we would like to share with you. The Lily Pulitzer brand has a rich heritage that started in 1959 and is proud to be remembered amongst iconic 70s fashion moments and to continue that legacy today. The resort styling, dressmaker details, and know-how of what the effortless chic woman needs in Florida and other resort destinations is still found in our collections and lovingly modernized. The shift dress, of course, is a timeless style that speaks to women then and now. This look was designed by student Sarah Holland, and she aspires to create collections that have versatility, body, and body confidence silhouettes. The jewelry is the satin gold fancy swirls toggle clasp bracelet. Thank you. And this is the teal and white chevron striped pant, which is ideal for attending local art shows in Boca, paired with the sleeveless crisp white collared top with sash. This look is designed by student Stefania Ordamas, and she aspires to create a luxury streetwear brand that challenges conformity and embraces uniqueness. This look is modeled once again by Nicole, and the jewelry is the white enamel and coral branch cuff with multi-pastel stones, starfish light antique gold, and rhinestone earrings with a stunning white pearl center. Thank you, Nicole. This beach caftan, beautiful, was inspired by days spent at the Boca Resort. Whether you are lounging poolside or walking down the beach, this look has you covered for a fun day in the sun while still being stylish. This look was created by student Camila Garcia and modeled by Ksenia from John Casablancas. Jewelry is the satin gold fancy swirl earrings, and they're stunning. Thank you. And here we have a really nice funky look. Boca's 70s fashion is always about staying alive with this hip white and red men's look. Designed once again by student Chris Black. This is a boucle fabric that is paired with white denim. The look is modeled by Foss student alumni Josh. After attending Foss, Josh has created his own label, Joshua Edward Flynn. Thank you. Wow. Inspired by designer Diane von Furstenberg. This red velvet pantsuit is a stunning career look for any busy woman in Boca. This piece was designed by student Taylor Soriero, and her inspiration in the fashion industry is to create a community through her brand that goes beyond just the clothing. Modeling is Brittany once again. And the jewelry, which is stunning, the ruby red drop earrings with a crystal paved top and a pear-shaped ruby resin drop that were originally worn by Jackie Kennedy Onassis. This is also their gold chains and pearl necklace. Thank you. How about some Studio 54? Does anyone remember those days? Inspired by Glimmering Nights at Studio 54, where you can dance to Donna Summer. This evening dress echoes the silhouette of a Halston dress with the metallic fluidity of the rose gold fabric. This dress is designed by student Asel Nurmagomedova, and her inspiration in the fashion industry is to create simple and detailed looks that are comfortable and are unique and chic. This look is modeled by Ksenia, and the jewelry we're all nervous. I'll mention the jewelry though, the diamond-shaped gold waterfall earrings. And here we have, inspired by the posh events at Boca, such as the garden party, with elements inspired by Italian designer Roberto Capucci. This evening dress is designed and modeled by Thos Fashion alumni student Eve Rodriguez. After attending Thos, Eve has created her own label, Eve Delafont. She aspires to empower women through her luxurious designs and bold silhouettes. And the earrings are the gold rhinestone flowers with white enamel. Thank you. And closing out our show is an evening kaftan look that I designed. It's often referred to as the kaftan that looks good on everyone. This piece floats through a room everywhere you go. This look is being modeled by Nicole, and it is a stunning flowing piece with flower power. The earrings are the diamond silver waterfall. Beautiful. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today and to all of our partners with this special event. Send them all in. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Wasn't it wonderful?